Hello, welcome to devotional time at Temple Baptist Church here in Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. Today we're going to be in the book of Exodus, the last chapter, last verse, chapter 40, verse 38. And that tells us that for the cloud of the Lord was above the tabernacle by day, and fire was over it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journey. All right, we're familiar with the tabernacle. We're familiar with how God done everything to direct the children of Israel. And, signs to us today are very important. They show us which way to go or not to go. I don't know how many of us have a GPS, but most of us do anymore. We have that on our phone and we use that. But it still doesn't tell you about the stop sign. It still doesn't tell you about the yield sign. It still doesn't really tell you about the directional signs as much, and emerging traffic signs are helpful to us as motorists. We know we've got to merge into that, and without these signs, a lot of people would be lost on their way to work or out of town. If they don't have the directions or how to get somewhere, it's just it's just hard to do. So we need that, and so. So they're visible day and night for the driver on their way. I don't know how they've got these done, but you can see the signs as you're coming up. And I think Israel also had similar signs to help them remember that God was with them as they journeyed through the wilderness. You're out there in the wilderness, and God covered the tabernacle with a cloud by day and fire by night. So it's there. His glory filled the tabernacle, and His presence was with them as they journeyed toward the promised land. That's what He did. He told them, when to stop and when to go. When the cloud was present, and when to go when it was lifted. They trusted in God to lead them. And like I say, life's roads are going in all different directions. They go a lot of ways, but we need to look to God to show us the way for serving Him, for following Him. God show the way by night and by day. He's going to envelop us in His love. He's going to love us. If we seek God and follow Him, He will clearly lead. He will clearly lead. He'll light our path with His all-encompassing presence. God is always with us. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. Just trust God to guide and direct you as always. He always has. He always will. All we have to do is be willing to follow the signs, the instructions. God gives us instructions. We thank you for joining us. We invite you to be a part of our services here at Temple. We have our first worship service on Sunday morning at 8, and then we have our Sunday school classes beginning at 9. 10 o'clock, our second worship service. Sunday night, we meet at 6. Wednesday night at 7. Come and be a part of those services. May God bless you is our prayer.